Hi guys, it's Blackie for Shaman's Forge Bushcraft. Talking about a little bit of vintage gear right now. Okay, back in the day, when I'm talking about back in the day, I'm talking about early 1900s when people started camping for recreational. In the books, the magazines of the day where you're looking at things where you could get gear, because there wasn't no eBay in them days, a type of knife design pops up, probably in the late 1890s, and goes all the way through till well after World War II into the 1950s. And that was what we call the camp knife. Now this one is made by Rough Rider, but you know what these are. You have the big spear point blade, you have an awl, you have a can opener, and you have a screwdriver bottle opener and a loop to carry it on the belt. Now this particular loop was for Boy Scouts to keep it on their belt and clip it. But you see this with a lanyard or something. And this was the first multi-tool, basically, of those days. And it's still a good carry knife today, although we consider it bulky, but each one of these tools was very well thought out for a specific job. Now, the can opener, most things came in cans. So you didn't have packages in those days. Any kind of food source or whatever was in a can. The bottle opener, same thing. Almost any kind of liquid beverage came in a bottle with a pop-off cap, Cokes or even beer, whatever, came needing that cap. Straight screwdriver, used in just about every kind of thing those days, with straight screws versus Phillips screws. And awl, used a great deal as a pokey, cutty, twisty, whatever, where you just need to dig something out, dig the meat out of a walnut, make a repair to the leathering gear. And we're going to do a video about repair here pretty soon, where I'm going to show you how to use these awls correctly. But this design has got the old can opener on it, and that was the can opener. I'll get it up close where you can see it. See this knurled knob? That was where you harpooned into the can, and that knob stopped, and you would cut forward and rotate your way around, prying against it. This design starts in probably, I've been able to find it like 1905, etc. The Boy Scouts about 1910 adopted it, and this is a Ulster 19 Boy Scout, probably a 1950s design. It's got the improved can opener. It even had to say can opener on it because many people were used to that old style and they had to tell them what that was. But it's got exactly the same blade styles, awl, screwdriver, can opener, main blade, and a lanyard to hang it. This was the pocket knife of that era. Now, let's look at that main blade for a second. By today's standards, we don't think much of it because it's not a tactical blade. It isn't sharp and pointy, it isn't tie and toe, etc. But it was designed well for the task at hand. It's a good wide handle, so it's a good whittling knife. I can get in here and do jobs. And this blade design, broad, is good for spreading things, food and stuff in the camp. That broad blade also acts like a butcher knife. It allows you to slide with that tip right up under the meat and skin, so that makes a good skinning blade. It's also got a very good straight edge on it, which allows it to be a very flat. Now this one's razor sharp, and I could actually shave with this thing if I needed to. But it hung around in the Boy Scouts 70 plus years. Now this is the demo knife. All it is the Boy Scout type knife, what we've come to call the Boy Scout knife, but it was called the camp knife for a couple of decades before it became the Boy Scout knife. And this was the military issue knife. It had exactly the same type blade, exactly the same type of tools, the can opener, and etc. And had this big old bail on it, so you could hang it on the handle of a mess kit for sanitizing and etc. Sometimes this is called the demo knife because the demo kit in military demolitions came with this knife for all kinds of functions. And it performs exactly the same as the other one, where you could bear down and skin with it, you could carve with it, you could whatever. So when the men went off to war in World War II, the issue pocket knife was basically what had been the camp knife, had been their Boy Scout knife, And now is their military issue knife. Now this evolved over time. This is my everyday carry knife. It's a Swiss Army knife that has basically the same, plus a few extra tools on it, like a wood saw and etc. Same type of lanyard carrying system. But if I took like this Rough Rider, which is not an expensive knife, but a good knife, and I took it and handed it to a 1905 farm boy, he would know exactly what this was. He'd know what all these tools were. He would recognize it as a pocket knife, as a tool he could use. If I handed any of these knives to a World War II soldier, they'd know exactly what every tool did, how to use it, and the best way to utilize it. Same way with this knife. We've evolved it over time, and we've added, like scissors and a wire saw and a few other accoutrements. But it's basically the same idea of the field camp tool. It is the camp knife. The knife that's got the tools necessary for being in the field and doing woodscraft and things like that in the field. Just thought I'd like to share it, guys. Please leave any questions or comments. I'm Blackie for Shaman's Forge Bushcraft, wishing you safe journeys. Have a great day, guys.